Welcome back to Deep Thought. We're going through Sonic Adventure DX, and
now we're in deep shit.
good point. I was gonna say something. Mia's gonna do the Hitler thing again, but we're probably not gonna do it.
Oh god.
Oh, so I did make a Hitler joke last time. I was curious whether I had done that.
Oh, what, you forgot?
I love that how forgetful you are with things you said. It's like, I've been helping even with the exports and shit and going through it, and it's like, yeah, Mia, you've got some dark humour here.
I like how it says in the notes here, let's get a love on.
That's all I even.
Oh yeah, it was supposed to be move, not love. Oh well.
Accidental yowie.
I prefer this because it's tailed.
My thoughts exactly, Tails.
Speaking of it, Cream.
Yes, Cream is here for some reason.
Did they make like a 3D model of her, or is that like a weird ass 2D sprite?
No,
That's
it's a
the
3D
model.
model.
Ah, okay. Man, they should let you control as Cream. She's probably better than Tails.
Well, the thing with Cream is that in Advanced 2 she's OP as fuck, so they'll probably just have to adapt that kind of gameplay. And I don't know how you could possibly get easier than Tails gameplay in this game.
Same gameplay, like same flying and stuff, just add Chow.
Yeah, you could just let cheese their way past it.
I don't know, rabbits are pretty inferior to foxes, if you ask me. Yeah.
I don't know. But foxes and bunnies are like best friends.
I don't know, bunnies tend to have a lack of empathy.
Yeah. Gotta be a bit cold, which is appropriate because we're going to Ice Cap. See what I did there? But yeah, Tails, I think his ladder climbing is quite slow, but fuck it, because you can fly.
Oh god, don't tell me... Wait, can I just ask a question? Because it's probably going to be relevant pretty soon. Are we going to have to do those sub-games again?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
It's part of the game.
That's why I put some things in the notes that said, this is what we're going to talk about while those things happen.
We get a new one at least.
Yeah. Ice Cap, this is probably my favorite Tails level, because it strips out the first platforming segment from the beginning, just lets you snowboard. And, yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Hey!
They knew that wouldn't work, so... They knew you would have flown over everything, so, you know, they just said, fuck it. They just put him in snowboard.
Spin the snowboard, we'll make millions.
You know what would have been cooler and cuter? If they just had Tails rolling down the hill. And he becomes a snowball.
He would get cold and freeze to death. Just saying.
You know, it'd be cooler if they just have you just have Tails in a giant snowball, and it's suspended in platforms in the air, and just roll through that.
Let's not, because that level was fucking horrible. This is the level that lends itself best to racing, I think, because, like, you know, snowboarding, we might as well just go, like, full SSX and just have you racing against someone else, and it's fucking cool.
It's like SSX, but it plays more like SEX. Am I right?
Sure. But yeah,
oh, that's so good. I love when you do that.
Fuck.
Like how you pass the Chaos Emerald.
It's so easily done.
There's a ski lodge up here for some reason.
Well, once you've been snowboarding, you want to kind of chill, rest
You know,
up.
this is supposed to be on Angel Island.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it is... Well, it's got to be, like, the same ice cap as 3 and K, isn't it? So...
Yeah, but how did they get a ski lodge built there?
Because the echidnas really want tourism to come to their island.
Mm.
How else is the island going to thrive?
There's one echidna, and it's this dude here. Oh, my favorite line! What's up?
Nothing much, just gonna shit rock you.
Yeah, it's that kind of delivery that's why it's so easy to make fun of Tails' voice in this.
I think it would have been worse. I think it could have gotten a whole worse if they would have went full nice and just went, "What's up?"
What's up?
What's up?
Also, don't die, Flame.
No, like, as you can tell, the more eagle-eyed viewers among you may notice that I didn't die to Knuckles.
Take that, Tom.
There goes all the subtlety.
Ooh, slander. But yeah, nothing really different from the Sonic ones, except it's a little harder to attack, because Tails' attack range with his tail isn't very large, so...
And no homing attack.
Still won't die, though.
And speaking of not much different to Sonic's one, that's pretty much what the next 10 minutes are gonna be.
Yeah, so let's fall asleep, and I'll be back when this part's over.
10 minutes, don't you mean?
I've noticed that throughout this game that they didn't reuse a lot of the lines. I mean, they did a lot of the voice clips that were in the other stories. They had them re-record a lot of the dialogue.
I think that's giving them a bit too much credit. I'm quite sure they're probably just using old takes.
Possibly.
But no, it works quite well.
Yeah, the impression I get from it is that like each of these stories, it's like that character's interpretation of events, and I can't remember whether I've brought this up before or not, but like you notice in Tails ones, it like goes out of the way to include Tails in lines that weren't in Sonic's ones. So like during the Egg Hornet, I think it was if it isn't Sonic and Tails, rather than just if it isn't Sonic. And it's just like Tails possibly sort of bullshitting himself a little bit, like making out that he's more important in all this than he is. Either that or Sonic's just a bit more egotistical and he just sees himself as the focus.
Yeah, I like to see it that way, because I think Tails probably does have a bit more focus than Sonic's story lets on.
You know, Tails was taking like the lead when he was talking to Eggman that first fight, so it was. I would say that's bullshit.
Maybe, but
yeah,
Tails was still cool in the classics.
I kind of liked that they attempted to kind of like connect all these stories and show them from each perspective, but it's pretty hit and miss on how it works, and I think they could have done a lot better.
Yeah, how the stories like interconnect and shit can be quite weird, and it leads a lot of like, how the hell did X happen? How the hell did Y happen? Because character X is supposed to be here. And, but I think the overall story is good. Like not like how they connect with each other, but I think like just the main story is, you know, pretty good on its own, like the chaos shit and all that.
Big the cat ties together, obviously.
Yeah, I think where this game kind of suffers is the way that it is going through every single character's entire like presence in the story, as opposed to like Adventure 2, where it just sort of, you know, groups them together. Because the problem we have here is there's a lot more like repetition than Adventure 2. Because like Adventure 2, there's like, say some of the boss battles, like character battles, are repeated, but all the levels and shit outside of that are different, like quite a bit different. Even though some of them are quite filler on the dark side, but still.
While I do think that SA2 has a much better structure than SA1, a lot of the levels in there on both the hero and dark side are really, really, really similar. Like, even if they have like some sort of aesthetic change or gameplay change. So I wouldn't give them too much credit, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I guess. I'll just go with the mindset of I'd rather something be a bit different rather than the exact same fucking thing. Because like all of Tails' levels are Sonic's levels sort of shortened. Like there's not really much original Tails stuff. Like so it's pretty much just an abridged version of Sonic's story.
Yeah, this is one place where I'd give SA2 a bit more credit over this one. It does a better job of just kind of, you know, everyone has different levels. Even if they're similar looking, they're still different levels. You know, and it does a better job just kind of like, you know, you don't play the same thing more than once, like the exact same level more than once. Like you don't go back to City Escape as Eggman.
Yeah.
To fight the gun mobile truck.
Although Eggman trying to run away from the gun truck would be fucking hilarious to watching his mech.
Man, someone should make a mod of that.
There's one of like Eggman in his like, you know, walking phase from the shell guard and that, but I'd love to see him trying to run away in his mech.
They have done that, actually. There's a video.
Oh, right.
I'll show it to you later.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Eggman's mech is like really fucking fast. Like faster than Sonic.
Oh, right.
And that's what's awesome about it.
Oh, robots.
I don't like having to repeat these levels, like Sky Chase and that, because like they're a bit.
Alright, time to check Twitter.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, they are a bit plain, you know.
I see what you did there. That's cute.
Oh, sweet! I haven't been kicked out of the cold.
So, yeah, Sky Chase, there is nothing different from here. You just watch the other ones if you want to know how it works. Let's talk about something different. Okay, let's talk about Tails before Sonic Adventure 1. So he first appeared in, if I recall correctly, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Sega Master System, which was released before the Mega Drive version.
Just by a month, but it's canonically not the first appearance of Tails. It's canonically speaking, I believe Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive comes first. It started development first, so
Yeah, I think with that sort of thing, it's best to go with release order. But yeah,
he was designed for the Mega Drive game, but they just
Yeah.
added him. The Master System version just sort of happened to come first, because let's face it, they probably didn't put much time into that version.
no, like the Master System version of Sonic 2, they just brought it out quicker by skipping over the quality assurance.
Well, that and developing Master System games was just a lot easier than developing Mega Drive games.
Yeah, but it's clear they didn't give a shit about that game.
Yeah, because 8-bit smaller than 16-bit, so it's it's easier by default. It's all about the numbers.
It's nothing to do with that.
Oh god.
I love 16-bit graphics. They're so much better than 8-bit.
Blast
It doesn't have much, it does have a bit to do with the graphics, but it's not like it depends on the graphics hardware, not so much process. There is a bit to do with it, but you're just underestimating it.
I was being facetious, Mia. I was kidding.
Triggering me is fun if you haven't noticed.
Well, you're getting all caught up with this tech talk. I'm just amazed by these Mode 7 clouds.
Oh, shut up! They are not Mode 7. They are 2D sprites coming towards the screen. That's not even Mode 7.
So it's mode 8?
This is how easy it is to fill time, by the way, guys, for your Let's Plays. Just rile everyone up.
Yeah, just piss off Mia about graphics capabilities and weird game systems.
Yeah, so after we had the Sonic 2 games, he, in the original release of CD, he was never in it. Taxman put it back in 2011, but, his story in CD is just Sonic's again, nothing different there. In terms of actual release, he was in Sonic 3, you could pick him. He learned to fly. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same in Sonic Mania.
You could fly in Sonic 2 as the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he could, in Sonic 3, he could do that, well, in both 2 and 3 really, he could do that thing where he steals your fucking invincibility frame and you go flying off the edge whenever you're trying to jump at a boss.
So, as this cutscene is kind of trying to show, as we're still talking about him before SA1, Tails' role here is always kind of like a supporting character for Sonic. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But were there any examples in any of the other games where he had something other than a role, this kind of role? I mean, besides SA1, were there any other games before this?
Tails Adventure and Tails Sky Patrol for the Game Gear. And Triple Trouble, he had a lot of special features that Sonic didn't have. He was able to have a submarine in one of the levels that Sonic couldn't have, which is pretty cool.
Was it yellow?
I'm sorry, look at them fucking textures. I'm sorry, that's got to be a 50 by 50 JPEG. Come the fuck off.
Memories. I owe so much to
No, it's Mode 7.
Sonic.
It's not a JPEG, by the way, it's probably a bitmap.
It probably is, but it looks compressed as fuck, so...
Just because it's compressed doesn't make it a JPEG.
Sure hope he's alright.
No, fam.
Powerful enough.
But yeah, so it was on the Game Gear games.
So I'm gonna
he didn't. This was like the first time we really saw character of him, just because it's the first time like he had like proper dialogue and shit. But like, I guess there's a Sonic OVA. He was in that. He was sort of a tag along. Pretty much, he didn't really do much for himself. And yeah, I'm trying to get in that minecart, and it's kind of finicky.
Yeah.
I wish there was more minecart gameplay in this, like in Sonic 4.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That would actually seem like a lot of fun.
No, even. I think that was facetious. I hope that was facetious.
A little bit of both.
Jesus, look how shiny they are.
Yeah.
It's too bad the minecart didn't make it into the regular version, only made it to the iOS one.
Oh, God.
But yeah, this is some actual original Tails gameplay that we didn't do in Sonic Story. This is fresh, this is new.
And it's also not that fun.
Yeah, it's still kind of weird about that thing. Was that like actual sand that you just opened the door and it just kind of fell back into the desert thing?
I have no idea how that part of the jungle led to here.
I must say, for desert music, this is a fucking radical theme, and people should listen to it because it's quite underrated.
Yeah, it's a really good theme.
It's alright. The sort of, rhythm's alright. It doesn't really do much in terms of lead.
What's it called? Dust Hill, Sand Hill?
Sand Hill, I
think.
think.
Ocean.
Sand Ocean, you thinking of from SAT?
I don't know. Sand Hill. They should have... I think this could have been cool if it was a whole level. Like for... like Sonic and stuff.
It could have been like...
I mean, assuming it wasn't typical desert level fare, but I think considering the rest of this game is quite fun, I think they would have been able to have like a section like this for Sonic and maybe a bit of platforming at the start. Basically just ice cap but sand, but who cares?
Although that section there, that kind of making me think of Dusty Desert a little bit, like when you're a Shadow. Like, just the outside part where you got to go through the posts in 06. Which is a horrible section, by the way.
Yeah, I remember. Thank you for bringing that back to me.
So Tails went back in time as well as everyone else does at some point. Now, he was holding Froggy. So why didn't Froggy go back in time as well?
Froggy fucked off. This is part of something he's just had to get used to doing. But here's the thing, if this is like a flashback thing, what we're going to find in a minute once I learn how to work the camera is there's a power-up here. How does Tails get a power-up in a flashback and then be able to use it in the future?
Is it really a flashback, though? Like, are you sure it's not just weird-ass time travel?
It might be, but it's... I don't know, I'm fucking confused. And this is probably the only time I'm going to be using this.
Yeah, this is one of the only times that Tickle here interacts with the character you're controlling.
Tickle. It's not Tickle, it's Tickle.
I'm sorry, I like the imagining. I just got the image of just going around tickling the other characters now.
Well, if that's your thing, stop kink shaming.
Who says it isn't?
Yeah, the new hot thing is tickling Tickle.
Yeah, all this weird exposition shit that we're not paying the blindest bit of notice to.
I like how she has white eyelids.
But these sections here, while I was recording, these were normally my lean down, get a drink sections. That's how little of a fuck I give about what they're on about here.
I'll be honest. During this section, I actually got lost and didn't know where the power-up was.
It's not exactly clear, to be fair. In all the other sections, all the other characters and shit, you just go find Tickle and that's it. So, I can imagine that without the prompting on the first time playthrough, you're not gonna be able to find it.
The best character in the game!
And won an entrance.
It's my favorite character.
That's because you have shit taste.
I love how they took that sound effect directly out of 3 and Knuckles and 3D Blast.
Yeah.
Aw, poor Big. I think that was probably the trippiest part of that whole dream for Tails. Not the flashbacks or anything, just Big coming towards him, falling flat on his ass, the frog just jumping over him.
Oh, so he's still dreaming. Does that mean Big is just not real this entire time? That would explain a lot of things.
Big is just a figment of Tails' imagination.
Then how do you explain him being in Sonic Adventure 2 in Sonic's levels?
Because see, the thing is, at the end of this game, Tails got knocked into a coma, and Sonic Adventure 2 all happened in Tails' mind.
Yeah, like at the very end of his story, he started floating around, but then those people from the Casinopolis, they actually broke his tails, and then he fell off the mountain and got a concussion.
The end of this story is just like the Egg Walker stomps on his head and knocks him out, and like everything after that in the Sonic series is just Tails like out of it.
Or yeah, you could go say that as well. Yeah, it's a better explanation than mine.
Yeah, this is fucking practical, isn't it? Like, gotta drive through the fucking waterfall. Like, you got some fucking Hydro Fonda shit going on there.
Yeah, and again, if that's the place where Eggman got his stupid egg hornet things, then first of all, how did he get access in there? And second off, why?
That's the thing, he didn't get it from in there, he got it from a different place.
But it was right there.
No, it wasn't though, it's a bit more to the left if I recall.
So it's a rock?
Maybe there's just another hole we haven't seen.
Maybe he was just storing it down there, and the two places are unrelated.
Maybe. But I like to imagine there's another hole down there.
Horse Flame likes to imagine another hole.
Yeah, the egg hornet is actually the clitoris.
Maybe it's a video game.
I don't like video games that don't make sense. For the most part.
Well, Sonic always makes sense outside of this, so we can let it fly, you know.
Honestly, the only way the Sonic will ever make sense is if you get a concussion. Much like Tails did at the end of this game. So while we're arguing over how Eggman got access to Tails' secret tunnel, ha 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 ha, there's another sky chase. But you all know how this goes down, so let's just completely ignore it and talk about something else. Let's talk about Tails' role in this game. So as I said, he's a bit of a supporting character for Sonic. But I guess this is like some sort of, oh, I need to do something in order to pay back Sonic for all the times that he saved me, all the times that he helped me.
All the times that he saved me when?
He did technically save him in the Sonic Adventure... No, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Master.
In Sonic 2, Tails saved Sonic. In Sonic 3, Tails saves Sonic when he's falling from the Death Egg, or not from the final boss. Tails has saved Sonic's ass way more times than Sonic saved Tails.
Well, I don't know. Maybe some sort of inferiority complex. In any case, so they kind of try to tackle this here. Personally, I think it doesn't really work well. It seems just a bit too arbitrary, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get what they're going for, of just like the Tails wanting to find his own independence rather than just being reliant on Sonic being nearby. I get that. Like, it's maybe a bit simple and it's kind of like, you know, devalued by the fact that it just like it goes back to how it was in future games and shit, and he ends up just being Sonic's little buddy again. But yeah, it's a very simple plot, and that's all it really needs to be. But like I say, if they're not going to stick with that, why bother?
And again, Tails has saved Sonic's ass way more times than Sonic saved Tails.
Well, it's not so much about whether he's saved him or not, but like it's just he's always like...
He owes Sonic nothing.
No, he don't, but it's like that doesn't stop him wanting like his own independence or his own like wanting to fend for himself a little bit, you know.
Tails' independence. Sonic's falling from the Death Egg and no plane comes to save him.
Yeah, and?
If I recall correctly from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the Master game, if you don't get all the
Master game,
if you don't get all the Chaos Emeralds, then the game will end, and it will just show like Tails' face in the sky, which is kind of implying that you didn't save Tails.
No, it's not implying that he dies, because that's stupid.
Are you sure about that?
It's implying Eggman did horrible things to him.
Well, wasn't that like the beginning plot for that game? Like, you kind of had to save Tails?
Yes, you have to save Tails.
Oh, okay, then who's to say that he didn't die at the end if he didn't get all the Chaos Emeralds?
No, but he obviously didn't die if he's in fucking Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Well, yeah, that's because the other games don't follow that canon in which you don't get all the Chaos. I want to see that timeline. Alright, we'll see you guys on the next episode of Deep Thought.